This is Christoph Yalik.
This is Just Janet.
And this is K. Colley.
And this is
the Just Nuggets Podcast.
And like that, we're in the Western Conference Finals, baby.
Yes,
How's
we
everyone
are.
doing today?
Good. We're doing good. How you doing, K.
I'm doing well. The Nuggets are in the Western Conference Finals. How can I be mad?
That's true.
Yeah. This is Christoph Yalik here, my guys and gals. We're back again.
Yeah.
We're back.
Back like we never left.
And this is Just Janet. Looking forward to it. This is Monday.
May 15th.
2023.
Yes.
And it feels like
Yeah.
it could be like September 2nd, 3rd, 2020, something like that.
And that's because...
Because all the bubble teams are back.
Oh, yeah.
Officially bearing that stupid narrative of the bubble fraud championship.
Right.
Is because it's like, oh, we want sports. I remember that we're all sitting inside, have bundles of toilet paper.
Sure.
And they're like, we're watching The Last Dance. It's like, I want to watch live sports. I want to watch live sports. And then the league, Adam Silver, the city of Orlando, Disney, do backflips to get you guys a facility that is safe.
Sure.
Where everybody can be. Because all the teams went there. Even the teams that was out of it.
Yeah.
Could be safe and accommodated all in one space.
Because of the
and they
global
created the
pandemic.
bubble. It created a global pandemic.
Yeah.
It created a safe space for these athletes to do this and complete the season, right?
And
so there's no asterisks. Would you rather want an asterisk where literally the Bucks are the champions? The Lakers had a good team that year. It was pretty up in the air of like who was good, you know. The Bucks were really good that year though.
Yeah.
The pandemic really halted their momentum. They got their championship the following year, so it's a wash. But the bubble was what it was.
Yeah.
It was a great place for actual good basketball, and I've heard plenty of people say it like. All you had to do was basketball.
Right.
So the best teams rose to the top, and then they get poo-pooed on by fans of players and fans of teams that didn't make it. Now you look back 3 years, the Lakers, every single time that...
yeah, right.
Fair enough. I'll say it one more time. You can say what you just said. The Lakers, they, every single time they've had a formidable team to put around LeBron, they've gotten to this point.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets were injured for 2 seasons.
Sure.
Boston has just been they're the cream of the crop in the East. Miami's gone to 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
So they're the cream of the crop in the East. So that whole narrative was so dumb, and I'm happy.
Well, the narrative was dumb in real times, largely because Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter, Paul Millsap.
Yeah.
All were balling out.
They were balling out.
Came back from 2-3-1.
And fighting out.
And then they got to who were playing tomorrow. So let's get into it.
Yes.
We went to, in the bubble, we played the Lakers. And now we're playing the Lakers again.
Sure.
Honestly, every time the Nuggets get to the Western Conference Finals, outside of one time, they've played the Lakers. So Carmelo versus Kobe in 2009.
The winning time Lakers?
Allegedly.
Yeah. A good little quick trivia. Who did they play other than the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals?
You want to go ahead, Just Janet? You don't know? I know who it is.
Who was it?
Seattle.
The Supersonics.
You know it was in 76?
78.
78?
Oh,
Okay.
that was the...
No, I think it was the Nuggets like first year or second year in the league.
So they came in hot. So what do you guys see so far? What do you for this preview? What are you expecting from the series? What are the matchups you're looking at? What are you identifying?
What's interesting to me about this whole thing is anytime you play the Lakers, you feel like you're playing not just that team. You're playing like history. You're playing the media. You're going to be playing the refs. I mean, it's just they come with a lot of baggage.
They do.
And it just feels icky. I mean, we played Minnesota, and we said, we got to deal with the players. We got to do this and that, and it was just a regular old game, even though it was in the playoffs. And then we moved on to the next one. We knew it was going to be tough with the Suns because we had played them before and we owed them, and but thus the revenge of the Denver Nuggets running through the West, trying to just right our wrongs and our getting successful outcomes this time. And then, but here's the Lakers. They're coming with all this, people who love them will never accept, anyone else beating them. And it's just a lot of...
They come with their own refs.
Yeah, and then you got to admit that there's a historic rivalry on the board.
Sure.
You have the Lakers-Celtics as a formidable option with LeBron's first time in this historic thing. They both have 17 championships to break the tie.
All of that.
It has all the makings of, and like casuals, that's casual city. You know what I mean? That's like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Sure.
All casuals can just sit down and watch it and know somebody playing.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's heard of the Lakers or the Celtics. Everyone's heard of LeBron. So if the league wants to phone in a friend, this is a good one to do it. But that's what I was going to say.
I don't think it matters because if you think about it, we have, for the first time in any time throughout these series.
Yes.
So if you're talking about when they played with Magic and Kareem, they had the better matchup. 2009, Kobe was the best player on the court.
Right.
2020, LeBron was still LeBron. He was the best player on the court.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we've played the Lakers where we have the best player on the court.
We do.
And that is Nikola Jokic, who is a two-time defending champion.
And
MVP. Two-time MVP. And he has to play great. And that's why I was saying, I've heard this narrative, and I just want to shut it down while we're on this podcast, that Anthony Davis is the best defender in the world.
Who said that? I mean,
I've heard multiple people say it today, and I don't know where it came from. I mean, he's never won a Defensive Player of the Year.
No.
He wasn't even in contention.
That's my point. But now they're saying he's the best defender in the world.
And that's
and
my
guess
point
what Jokic
too.
has done to people that actually... Yeah, I was saying...
Stuff. And,
the defensive player who actually won 2 times the Defensive Player of the Year was Rudy Gobert.
And we played them.
Joker has beat that man now in two playoff series, the bubble and earlier this year. Not to mention, I saw that Joker has about a 40-pound difference on their heaviest player. Their heaviest player is actually Tristan Thompson.
Oh, and he
so
said
Joker.
That's because he's a little out of weight.
Oh, okay.
Sure, I mean, yeah, he was doing
out of weight.
He was on.
Is what I meant
he was
to
on
say.
NBA TV.
Yeah, I mean,
today,
I like Tristan Thompson.
I do like Tristan too. I'm saying all that to say, I don't think Joker is going to have crazy issue with Anthony Davis in the sense of he's not going to be able to get his points because Anthony Davis is such a great defender. I don't think that's true. I don't know where this narrative has come from. But I think Joker's still going to be able to get to his spots and score. I also think the other matchup that you're going to have to watch is AG versus LeBron.
Yeah.
Because those, I think when it comes to Jokic and when it comes to AG, LeBron and AD, those are solidified matchups for the next 5 or 6 games, however long the series goes, because AG is going to have to step up against LeBron. Yeah. Which he has the body type to do.
He does.
And Joker has the body type to take advantage of Anthony Davis. So the question becomes, are they going to come send the doubles on Nikola Jokic, or is Nikola Jokic going to be able to still move around the offense one-on-one? That's the question.
I think he'll still be able to move around.
Well, he's going to still be able to move around. I'm saying, are they going to try to send more
because,
doubles?
I watched a couple things about AD's game today just to try to, get ready to see what was going to happen, what I can observe. And he has a mid-range game. He comes out and he shoots that jumper. He's right in the middle around the paint area. He gets pulled out. And so I could see where we could do some backdoor stuff with passes. We can our 2-man game will work. Mm-hmm. Unless they I guess the other matchup we should talk about is who may get Jamal.
And that's what I was gonna say. So last series we said that it was gonna be an AG and a Nikola Jokic series because they had no front court that could stop those two. This series, I think Jamal Murray's going to be able to get whatever buckets he wants. Because I don't think D'Angelo Russell's an incredible defender that he can't. He's going to stop Jamal. And Schroeder is going to get destroyed by Jamal.
Well, he's got
active hands.
He's got active hands, but as far as just like Jamal doing back downs and turnarounds, I think Jamal will be able to get what he wants.
Tries to be an
I would say for the Lakers, I think that their X factors to beating the Nuggets are D'Lo, D'Angelo Russell, and Rui Hachimura.
And what about Reeves?
He's going to play well at home.
Yeah, he's going to play well.
Yeah, at home.
I think, Reeves, Lonnie, and Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
Stop with that Vando.
They call him Vando in LA.
He's a nugget to me.
Oh, okay.
That's Jared Vanderbilt.
Jared.
And I remember when he had that pass up this. Remember that the first time he got in the game, and he had that like crazy pass that like took 2 dribbles. I think Gary Harris picked it up and dribbled on the fast break. They were killing whoever it was like late in the fourth, and he got it, and the whole team was pumped. And I was like, who is this dude? Because the Nuggets got him on a steal, but Tim Conley just hates Jared Vanderbilt for whatever reason.
He keeps trading him.
I don't understand. I will never understand him and Beasley. He does not like them. And honestly, thank you, Tim Conley. We get to play your creation in the Western Conference Final. Back to the point is that those are the two in my eyes that are their X factors, because if they get really good series from them.
So who's the two? You said Vanderbilt?
No, you said that. I said Rui Hachimura and D'Angelo Russell, because I think that is those two are difficult for the Nuggets to deal with. Could be difficult for the Nuggets.
So let me put 2 names with them: KCB and Bruce Brown. So if that's the case, I maybe I haven't seen enough of them.
The Nuggets for the first time in this playoffs. We knew that Minnesota was getting scoring from Anthony Edwards, who's an absolute dog, and Cat. And Cat was very up and down.
Because he was just coming
And
back
then second round, whatever. Yeah. He's also not that great.
He's good.
He's good, but
Cat has been awful.
Is he in the Western Conference Finals good? No, he's not. So on to the next. There's plenty of great players that are not playing right now.
Their offense is just weird right now.
So maybe they need something. Okay, whatever. He played 5 games against the Nuggets and was a threat. No. So
change off
later skater. So then they played the Suns, and they could get their own. They had the 2 that can definitively, if you could shut down. Or just make them work, or like we were saying, let them go off.
Make the game hard for them.
KD and Book, those 2 were absolute dogs. You knew where they were going to get their scoring from.
Yes.
This series, people say it's AD, people say it's Braun, but when you watch the Lakers play, it's kind of by committee.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of has a hand in it. So it's Reeves, it's Hachimura, it's Russell. It's a unit. This is the best team. No crap.
Team.
This is the best TEAM that the Nuggets have played thus far. And they're very full. They're very complete. And everyone says this about the Nuggets. Yes, I give the Nuggets a slight edge because 1, I'm a fan. 2, I do think we're better. So.
We're number 1 in the Western Conference for some reason.
Yeah. But I do agree.
Since December. Yeah.
But I do agree with Kyle, and I'll add another one in. And I'm going to say this one until I'm right. The X factor for the Nuggets in this series is A, Jamal, and B, Michael Porter Jr. Because if Michael Porter Jr. plays 6 great games, the Nuggets, this one's over with.
Yeah.
And we're on to some place that we've never been before.
Well,
and it's only right that we have to go through the Lakers to get there.
Yeah,
I would say Jared Vanderbilt is a non-factor from the scoring. I don't know. He had 8 points, 6 points, 2 points, 2 points.
He's defending
0 points and 2 points.
Yeah, he's defending.
So even from the defense, he had 2 steals in the game 1 of the Warriors, and he averaged about a steal a game. That's what you're basically going to get from him. So he's going to be playing Michael Porter Jr., but I think Michael Porter, he used to dog him. They've been friends for a while, and Michael Porter used to dog him.
So let's just talk common sense. Just talk common sense. Even when they have 2 superstars like they do. We know they have AD. We know they have LeBron. We know their pedigree. We know they're famous and super. Okay, I could just give them that. But this is a new look Laker team since the All-Star break when they got traded, these role players that's going to help LeBron, okay? How good now they've made it to almost the top of the food chain. Can their team, TEAM, and their role players and all of that hold up under the scrutiny of a really good team, and the Nuggets are. And so that's what I'm hoping for.
You're saying that the pressure is on the Lakers.
I really
The Lakers haven't played a defense like the Nuggets. And I will say that is the big difference. Because when the Lakers played Golden State does not play defense.
No, they just no.
Curry's not playing defense.
No.
Plays good.
What about Memphis? They have 2 players they had the defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
They had Dylan Brooks, who was on the second
but
team.
It was
Dylan Brooks made it too much about him versus LeBron, and he let himself out the game. None of the Nuggets are going to care about them versus LeBron.
And Memphis was going through turmoil.
They really were.
The turmoil has now come back
Shots
again.
Fired. Shots fired, Mom.
Yeah, so that is true. Like, I think the Nuggets, what we've been able to, and this is the other thing, the fact that this series is starting in Denver.
Yes.
For the first time we've ever played the Lakers is really important too, because the Nuggets can get this altitude. They can run the Lakers in this game one, have AD play 35 minutes, have LeBron play 36 minutes in altitude, and run them enough to get this game one. And that sets the tone for the series.
And you said something else, K-Dot, that's important too. They always talk about how they're a transition team and they run and all this. Maybe they do, but do they run like we run? Okay, when we say we run, we're like, defending and then hitting shots. Our transition is derived from our defensive play at the other end, and we get out in transition. I think when they talk about the Lakers doing that, they're talking about LeBron running downhill to the basket or something like that. It's a different transition type game to me, and so it's going to be fascinating to see this game tomorrow.
I mean, we're in new territory with this season as a general, and just even coming into this particular series, as Kyle mentioned twice, he said we have the best player, and we have home court advantage. There's something weird about me. It's like internal as this lifelong Nuggets fan. I feel confident, and you're still playing against the Lakers. You're playing against the league. You're playing against LeBron, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You're playing against it's a tall mountain to summit, but we're in the Rocky Mountains. We're used to this. You know what I mean?
We're climbers. Out here.
In order to get gold, these miners that came to get those gold nuggets, they had to go through the insurmountable. You know what I mean? And this is just the latest mountain. Yeah, this is the latest mountain.
But you got to get over to get to the real summit. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And even if they get to the finals, that's not the summit they want. No. That's not the summit what they want, but they have to get through this 4, 5, 6, 7 games to get there. And I think they can. I really feel it in my bones.
Can I give you another stat?
Speaking of bones, I hope he's watching game one. It comes on tomorrow at 6:30 Mountain Time.
So most of their rebounding is coming from two guys. You have LeBron getting 10 rebounds a game. And
LeBron does everything.
And Anthony Davis is getting 14 rebounds a game. So, and then from down, the next guy that gets rebounds is Austin Reeves, who has 4 rebounds a game. And then you have Rue, who I think comes off the bench and getting 3.5 rebounds a game. So not really as great of a defensive team, rebounding team as they say. And I think if the Nuggets box out really strong there, you're going to create a lot of second chance points for the Nuggets. Yeah. Especially Joker's going to get his rebounds too. And AG is going to be.
When is their will break? That's what I want to the Lakers.
Oh, they don't quit. I don't think that's what I said. I think this game's good. The best thing that can happen to Nuggets again is the same scenario that we've had the last 2 series. You get game 1 and 2. You get game 2.
You have to,
and then you gotta go get one on the road. Yeah. And I think that delay against the Suns last time, I think slowed down the Nuggets a little bit from getting one on the road because I think they checked out. But not this year because it's every other day. I think since every other day, and this series is going to be big for Nuggets to try to get one in LA. Mm-hmm. Then you're up 3-1.
So now can we talk to Mike Malone? Mike Malone. Yeah. I know last series we played 8 people. We had this conversation on this pod before we started these playoffs about 8 people, 9 people, 10 people. And if you go back and check my, what you call them, receipts, I said that you need to stick to 8. You could do others. And I think this is a series you need others.
Yeah, so who's the other you want?
I would think it should be Peyton Watson, and I'm hoping it's Reggie Jackson.
Really? I think we're gonna need. Yeah, I was gonna say DeAndre Jordan.
I think DeAndre Jordan. I'm sorry,
DeAndre Jordan makes sense here because of the AD.
Yes.
The deepest cut I heard today is from Vince Sanity. He was on, I believe he's on an ESPN, some show. Yeah. He said, "Oh, well, the Lakers, they have Mo Bamba they could throw at him."
Right.
He's hurt.
Then he got hurt. Then they came out.
Even if he wasn't hurt.
If he was healthy, and an all-star, that dude could not hold Jokic.
The more you say that is interesting because I'm looking at this, and the Lakers' only tall person they have that will be able to guard Jokic is Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis is out of this game,
barbecue chicken.
Anthony Davis is never out, right? He plays consistently every game.
Do you want Anthony Davis playing 40 plus minutes?
No, he's like a model of consistency.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
You want him to play 40 plus minutes in altitude?
But he can. I mean, we've seen him play every game, every minute of every game.
Well, for the last 20 games, but
with being his best defender in the world.
I think so too. I've seen him shut down everybody.
Exactly, I have too.
He's the best defender on the world.
Allegedly. These are quotes and allegedlys, right?
We're being
you guys sound like the national media. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
No, we sound like idiots, but national media, idiots, same thing.
No. I mean, it's going to take a lot. They have a team, we have a team. This is probably our first team that we've seen that it has this team structure that, basketball. And that's why they've come this long, this far. I just think that, like you said, when are they going to break? Okay? They may be on teetering here right now based on what we said about just putting this group together about 3-4 months ago and now having to go to the play at this level.
There's a point you made way back before or during the Minnesota series that stood true for the remainder of that series and stood true for the last series against Phoenix. And I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow or Thursday. Strength. The Nuggets are strong. They will. They are a bruising team from their mass and they're just strong teams. And I want to see how that translates against the Lakers because to your point, they can't throw McGee and Dwight Howard at you because to just body and just bruise you up
for some fouls.
You know what I mean? Now the Nuggets technically could do that. Like we could throw Thomas Bryant out there and get some fouls. We could throw DJ out there and get some. They're not going to. But I don't think Peyton Watson's going to play.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets have that type of.
So then, okay, if they don't play those four, we just said those names. Those four names: Thomas Bryant and DJ because of the size for DeAndre Jordan. Yeah. And then the other ones we said was Peyton Watson and Reggie Jackson. So if they don't play any of them, now you're telling me we won't stick with our 8.
Well, I think we stick with our 8, and here's why. Here's why. Because I think you can put KCP and Bruce Brown on D'Angelo Russell at any given time. I think Austin Rivers is going to get guarded by KCP in the beginning. And if not, KCP might switch over to I think if you could also switch KCP to D'Angelo Russell and have Jamal play Austin Reeves if you have to. I know it's not the greatest matchup, but I don't think Austin Reeves is killing either CB? Way. And then you have CB come in, and CB, that's really where you see a lot of talent because CB can go.
And Uncle Jeff.
CB can guard Russell. He can guard Austin Reeves. He can guard. See, Rue is the one that's interesting because Uncle Jeff has to be put on. Uncle Jeff has to be played on Rue. Yeah. So that's where that comes in. I like our matchups. I think we can. There's no one on the Lakers team that just is going to just be dominating their matchup for me outside of D'Angelo Russell may get Jamal Murray if Jamal's not coming to play defense.
But some of the others, like Rue.
As I said, Rue, but then you think about it, Rue's going to be playing against Uncle Jeff, and Uncle Jeff's a big body too.
Yeah, he is.
So he's going to get his buckets on Jeff Green, but it's not going to be like every time.
That's what I'm saying is like the Lakers are very much so by committee. You saw Lonnie Walker came in and had a crazy fourth quarter and won a game for them.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where, I don't know, I'm hopefully speaking this into existence. I think some of it's got to give at a point. Like, they lost a game where Jordan Poole missed a wide open jumper.
Yeah.
They got 15 or 14 points in the fourth quarter from Lonnie Walker.
Yeah.
Like, things are going their way, right? Yeah. Yes, that can continue. Yes, they're the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, they have LeBron James, who's, if he's not the best player of all time, he's definitely the second best player of all time. So it's like, they have Shaq Harrison making $12,000, so anything can happen, But like the thing is, like they're really good. They are really good. They're formidable. They're deep and they're well coached by a Nuggets legend, Darwin Ham. I'm excited for this series because I don't necessarily know how this series is going to play out. I think I'm confident the Nuggets will win because they should win because they're a better team. They have the best player. They have home court advantage. And if we see the rise of Maul, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mr. Jamal Murray, if he comes back and plays to the level that he can, and you get timely buckets from MPJ at home and on the road, KCP, Bruce Brown, AG play excellent defense.
Sure.
You get quality minutes from Jeff Green and CB. The Nuggets should win. The Lakers have ruined plenty of Nuggets seasons in my hopes.
True.
So I can't get too high until I see it happen. The Nuggets have never beat the Lakers.
True, but the more I'm looking at this roster
in the playoffs,
the Nuggets really shouldn't have a crazy problem against us because we have an answer for all their players. And I'm not saying answer, but you can put a good defender on each person.
Or you can switch.
I like AG on LeBron because they got same body size.
Sure.
I know LeBron's gonna get his buckets, but what's his buckets? Is he a 40 a night? We might be able to keep him to his 23. Jokic versus Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to get his buckets. But then you look at it and you say, D'Angelo Russell is going to get his buckets, but we can put KCP on him. Sure. We can put Bruce on him. Austin Reeves, we can put Bruce on him. We can put KCP on him. Rue, same thing with Jeff Green. So I'm going down the list. Dennis Schroeder, he's going to get guarded by Bruce Brown. So at each position, we have at least an answer for him. So the Nuggets it's like, you guys just got to step up and say, we're done losing to the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers beat us in 2009. They beat us in 2020. It's over.
But
it's over. That's what you got to have. You got to have that mentality.
This is why we're on the revenge tour. This specific Nuggets team and really just the head coach, the
three
guys. They're the ones that are like, I want, and KCP. I'll throw KCP in there as well.
Because he was another ring.
They don't care about 09 and 85. Mm-mm. They care about 2020. Yeah. That's the one that stings for them. Mm-hmm. The last time they were actually healthy and had a chance, this team beat you, even though it's only two of them.
And I think they all know, everybody knows, we all feel it, I'm sure they feel it, that it's hard to get here where we are.
They know. I think the Nuggets of all teams of the Final Four know it. I think the Lakers know it.
Boston should know it.
Yeah.
Seeing as they lost to the finals last year. They should
they know
and the Heat should know
but they get there all the time. What I'm saying is the Nuggets should know this one because they got there and an injury took them out. And they saw that they could not get back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a hard mountain to summit. And that you're a perpetual team that's up there, the Nuggets should be in the Final Four most of the season, most of the year. They should be like the Bostons or the Miamis. They are talented and have the team to do it.
Yeah.
But it all starts with getting over the hump. And one quick thing, let me gush about Jokic. I have a couple points. So I just saw like a little clip. It was about Game 7 against the Clippers, which it was such a blowout you never really think about it. And it goes to that narrative about Jokic never has good games in the playoffs. In that game, he had 16, 22 rebounds, and 13 assists. That's a stat line for you. And then I also heard this morning with the bright people at ESPN talking about him, saying that his game wasn't spectacular.
Wasn't
artistic.
It started with Greeny was saying, it was not artistic.
It's not artistic enough. And I would argue that he probably has the most artistic game in the league. It's more artistic than Luka. It's more artistic than.
But they don't watch
Steph is there too because his is like more magic. LeBron's is just great. It's just like it's him and Giannis have that like brute force.
They're just the best.
Greatness. Truly, You know what I mean? Steph's is magic, but artistic, it is Nikola Jokic. And they said, like, if we're using names, Woj came on after and he said he reminds him of Tim Duncan and the Spurs.
Sure.
And he said, yes, people complained about the Spurs and how slow they played and how methodical they were and all these different things, but it was effective.
They were winners.
And Kyle just flashed the five fingers at me, one for each. They got a ring for each of those fingers. It worked.
Yeah.
And Tim Duncan, his game was not flashy. Jays, you're a Tim Duncan fan. They call him the big fundamental.
Yeah.
He's not AI. And he ain't Tim Hardaway.
He's a favorite person of Joker.
You know, he wasn't Vince Carter. He was this guy who's gonna dribble, pass, make the right play. Go off the backboard. And guess what? That won you 5 championships. And the Flash, sometimes it gets you some, sometimes it doesn't. Most times it doesn't.
I was like, Flash is not a good equivalent for like what wins championships because Tom Brady wins championships and that man was always just finding the right target.
Sure.
But stop
Tim
that.
Duncan always
Pat
wins
Mahomes
championships.
wins championships and he's
I know, but then also here's another one I was gonna say. What about Kawhi Leonard? Kawhi Leonard's game isn't super flashy.
Absolutely.
He just gets to his spots and he scores.
Yeah.
So whatever it takes to win. I guess last point, and we can end it here. Finish this sentence. Nuggets win this series if. What do we need to do?
If we play the way we know we can play. If we play our defense and we rebound.
I was gonna sound like Mike Malone. Defense
and rebounding.
I would say if they limit second chance opportunities on the defensive end.
Or at any end.
No, on offensive end, you want to create second chance buckets. And then get out and transition more. Because the Nuggets, they said it when they got 31 transition points that one game, last series. Like, they are unstoppable when they're in transition. If they do that, Nuggets fan in me thinks Nuggets in 5.
Oh.
Realistic Nuggets basketball fan of me says Nuggets in 6.
I say Nuggets in 6.
Here's why I say Nuggets in 5, and I'm not by any means putting this in the atmosphere because it just might happen. If AD plays all the games with no accidents,
of course he will.
Nuggets win in 6. If there's an accident, Nuggets in 5.
Okay.
Yeah, and accidents for AD is just like that man just goes out on the court and a gust of wind gets him in the leg because that's not like for real. He's
somebody's eating nachos.
Yeah, someone drops a peanut on the court. That man can find
you know
it.
what? But he may find it in him to play every game against us. I just think that
But we owe them regardless. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they're still living off the point, off the Mason Plumlee. That Mason
the thing
Plumlee
is, we're
out.
Nuggets fans. Yeah. We were Nuggets fans before Nikola, before Jamal, before Mike Malone.
Yes.
We'll be Nuggets fans
before
after
Melo.
this.
Yeah.
Before Melo.
Oh, here we go.
But guess what? As Nuggets fans, at some point, we gotta beat the Los Angeles Lakers. We gotta do it.
It's this year.
And it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. And you can check the receipts. If it doesn't happen, we'll be sad Nuggets fans. But guess what? We're kind of used to being sad Nuggets fans. We're not used to being happy Nuggets fans. The end of the road usually comes about the Western Conference Finals for our franchise.
Kind of feels different.
How about we not do
this
that?
Would be the first year it feels like Western Conference Finals isn't like a good achievement.
No.
Like, we know we're better than the Western Conference Finals this year.
Absolutely.
Like, you're just like, we're better than that.
We are.
So let's prove it, and let's go to not Nuggets real quick. Yesterday, Boston versus Philly, Game 7.
Oh boy!
If you can believe it, Joel Embiid did not show up in this game, and
you mean MVP?
MVP. My fault. I gotta give him his respect.
Yeah.
MVP, Joel Embiid did not show up late when they needed him. James Harden didn't show up when they needed him.
Wasn't there.
Jason Tatum sets an NBA record. It's funny because we were just talking 2 weeks ago and we said Steph Curry set an NBA record for Game 7.
Yes.
But Tatum has already taken that. What did you think of that game, that series?
I thought that momentum is the thing to have. Okay, he was terrible in Game 6 through 3 quarters. The fourth quarter, he came around on his game, saved the day, won the game on his shooting, and it continued into Game 7 for him. Yeah. I mean, and then he from start to finish in Game 7, he was just rolling, and it was amazing. It was almost like he was in a shell or something, and he just blew out of it, blossomed, and took this whole series over.
Tatum kind of reminded me how he played against the Bucks last year when I think they were down 3-2 against the Bucks, and Tatum just took over those last 2 series. Like, Tatum has a way of, when the going gets tough, except in the playoffs the finals last year, he didn't quite show up. But he's a gamer. Like, he has no problem stepping up. Yeah. And what you saw from last night was just Tatum.
I would say Tatum personally is in my top 5 favorite players.
Yeah, he's just fun to watch.
It's like Nikola, Kawhi, Jamal. He's in that for me.
Yeah.
I thought Game 6 was incredible from Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
That fourth quarter when he just went nuts and didn't miss.
No.
Like, that was immaculate.
And
the 50-51 in Game 7 will be remembered, and it rightfully should. Mm-hmm. That Game 6 was I can't say equally as special, but it was just as special.
And you know why it feels special? Because we've seen Jamal do that for us. I mean, I remember in one playoff series, we were terrible for 3 quarters, but in the fourth quarter, in the middle of the third, he got caught fire, and we won that game, which ultimately helped us win the series and move forward. And that probably was in 2020 or whatever it was.
And I know this is not Nuggets, but yesterday, May 14th, was an excellent day for the Nuggets to be a Nuggets fan, because you put to bed the bubble thing.
Yeah.
And then you also put to bed that MVP, like, when it comes down to it, he's better at defense, he can score, all this BS on full display.
Yeah.
On full display. The world just watched Jokic dominate a team that has superstars, right? So they already, like, respect, tip of the hat. and then they watch the dude who's MVP, who they've been giving deference and credence to all season, go out there in the second half and score 2 points.
Yeah.
2 points. I've watched Nikola Jokic enough to know that I would put someone's life up for grabs, knowing good and well he would never do that in the 2 quarters to score 2 points. Nikola would never do that.
What did they say in Casablanca? Well, at least we always had January.
Yeah, at least we always had January. Yeah, at least you scored 44, and even then we're like, cool, have it. You know what I mean? Because what Nuggets fans knew, and any reasonably thinking fan that has higher achieving hopes for their team would know that was January 28th or something like that, or late January. That doesn't get you a championship.
Nope.
But you know what it is? It felt like all season, and we could say it now that their season's over, it was misguided. What he wanted was misguided. Jokic is talking about before the season, hey, I want to be Tim Duncan. I want to get a championship. He's talking about, I want MVPs.
Yes.
Even that stupid comment he went on and said, well, I didn't have multiple MVPs. I don't have the expectation. Why is all the pressure on me? You know what that's showing me is that the pressure should be on you because you want the pressure on you to achieve something larger than it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to check out and have a minus 28 in Game 7. And to blow a lead in Game 6. To have that spectacular moment in Game 6 when Tatum is, for all intents and purposes, was absolute garbage for 3 quarters. And you guys could not take advantage at home?
Yeah.
My God, you saw what the Nuggets did in the closeout game.
I just say this. When you're the bus driver, you get all the glory and you get all the hate. And like yesterday and I would say this. I don't think there's always this nerve when you lose a team, when you lose, and especially when you lose 3-2, to like, we need to blow up everything. We need to get rid of James Harden. We need to get rid of Doc, all that. But at the end of the day, I think they do have a really strong core. And whether you do get rid of James Harden, you bring in maybe like a Dame Lillard or somebody, I think that team is solid. They just need to bring in some right people. Maxey's a great basketball.
So what are you saying? Trust the process.
I'd say trust the process one more year. I don't think you get rid of Doc. I don't think you get rid. I think Doc is going. I do think Doc probably will get fired.
This is for another pod.
Saying I don't think they need to get rid of Doc. I think they need to continue to compete for championship.
I think you need to realize that Embiid got drafted in 2014. We're now looking at 10 years of the process.
Yeah.
And if you can't even get out the second round.
Yeah.
There's time to start doing different things.
They just had the coach before. Doc's only been there for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
He came in 2021, wasn't it? Because he came after the bubble. He's only been there 3 years.
After the bubble. Okay. After the Clippers bubble.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. After the Nuggets ended this season.
Yeah, end of the season.
They need, I'm not saying a whole overarching adjustment or change.
But some changes.
But they need to get rid of Harden. Maxey's a great piece. Maybe you can flip him for something more, like a Dame Lillard. They just need some. I think I was talking to a good friend of mine the other days. I think there's only 2 centers in the NBA. Well, we'll get to the third here in a second. But there's only 2 you can really build around. One is in Denver, and one's in Philadelphia. I think Embiid. Yes, we just talked our talk because we're Nuggets fans. We gotta just point out to the elephant in the room. But Embiid is an excellent player.
Yeah.
And I would love to have him on my team. If I don't have the choice of Nikola Jokic, he's right there.
Yeah.
And the downside of Embiid is he might score 2 points in the second half of Game 7, But the upside is he might win you a game in January and throw 30-44 and not miss, and win an MVP. So you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to give him options. And that's why I think Dame Lillard's the best, is because Dame can just go out there and score and take over. Yeah. Harden in 2015, 2014 could be that guy for him, but that's just not who he is anymore.
I think let's last point on this. I think when you're the big man, you definitely need a true Robin that can go and get you buckets.
That's why AG
That's why Shaq always loved Kobe, D-Wade, because they knew it. Just why Jokic loves Jamal, because we didn't go even when I was great as Joker was last couple seasons, without Jamal, it was just hard to get going.
I just don't think the Batman. I know I don't want to talk about this because we have a couple of Batmans. I think the Batman really for Joker is AG. Jamal is I don't even know what he's the number 2. I get that, but I think when you talk about a real Batman and Robin that goes in the fight that is the big men fight, that's who it is. So
can I eat crow really fast? Because a couple episodes ago, when we were up in Vail and we were having that conversation, and I was super pumped about the Knicks. Thank you. I feel kind of like a Knicks fan without being a Knicks fan because I feel let down a little bit. Shout out to Joyce. I would get rid of Julius Randle in a heartbeat.
Really?
In a heartbeat.
I'm still. Maybe I'm just wrong.
In a heartbeat. I get rid of him because he's just.
I think you gotta stop trying to make people who aren't the main guy. I think he's
that's
a great
the thing.
piece. I think he's a great piece.
And that's when he's a great piece and he's not the main guy and he can't get it done for you. Flip him because you can get something else for that. He's a talented piece. He gives me Chicago, Charlotte, or not Orlando. Charlotte and Chicago vibes. He's a great player, and it's gonna cap out at a point. I don't know who the Knicks go get. I don't. I truly don't know. Thank God I'm not the GM.
Yeah.
But that was disappointing. They lost in front of the Garden, I thought was electric, and they wouldn't lose there. But that turns out to be Crypto.com because the Lakers are electric and they don't lose there.
Well, we talked about this a couple pods ago, how Miami and LA are not your normal 7 and 8s. I'm just sorry.
Yeah.
They just really are. And so Miami's been there, wanted to get there again. And the Knicks just came up extremely well coached with Spoelstra. And then came up against a buzzsaw. That's what it is.
What's your prediction for Miami and Celtics? That's the Eastern Conference Finals.
Wow. You know what? I feel almost like we do with the Nuggets and the Lakers. I have to see game 1.
I don't.
You don't?
The Celtics are a better team. I think the Celtics win this one in 6. 5. I'm giving 6 because I respect and appreciate Jimmy Buckets.
Here's the thing. I know y'all won't believe me, but the Celtics have a 34-year-old coach, and Miami doesn't.
And they got Spo.
Who
could arguably be one of the best coaches.
So I have to see that. I mean, I get you that the team and the talent and all that is there, but I also saw the Celtics struggle in every series they've had.
I would say it like this. Boston should be heavy favorites in this series.
Should be.
But Jimmy Butler has constantly been proving everybody wrong in this playoff.
Will wins.
So there is a world where Miami wins. I got Boston 6.
The only reason I give 2 reasons. Jimmy Butler's one of them. I guess 3. Spoelstra is the second one. But then the fact that they know each other. They've been in the Eastern Conference Finals against each other a couple times in recent memory. So they know each other. Yeah. And when that happens, it becomes a toss-up. It doesn't matter that Boston's a better team. It doesn't matter that it's like they know each other. They know how to beat them. Bam is going to be an absolute factor in this.
He's playing better. He's playing well.
Is Tyler Hero going to play? Does anyone know?
I'm not sure.
Even if I don't think he's going to be the swaying piece. That's a great piece for them to get back, just like Duncan Robinson was. I like Miami. I really do. I just think that it ends.
I think if Celtics wins, and I think I can see why you're saying that. And so if I say that, it's going to be Celtics in 7. I think it's going to be a long series, and they're going to be fighting it out.
Yeah, like I said, Boston just seems like the better team, but Miami's been playing crazy basketball. But let's switch over because we're talking about Doc's potential coaching firing, but there have been a lot of coaches that have got fired, and not just it would be one. I don't think we'd talk about it as much if it was just coaches that have struggled in the regular season that got fired. These are some big names. These are coaches that recently won championships.
Sure.
And there's a lot of people that if you are out there. Hornets. If you're out there, Bulls. Well, actually, Bulls have a good one. They have Billy Donovan. But if you're out there and you have a coach that's not really up there, you might want to give a call to Nick Nurse. You might want to get a call to Coach Bud. You may want to give a call to Monty Williams because those are some coaches that have all got
I'll throw
fired
another name in there. Minnesota. Minnesota definitely has to be in there.
Yeah, there's a coaches that you should go get.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that one year. I think it was like 2014 when there was like nothing but A+ talent as a free agency. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is a top tier year for coaches to be on the move and stuff because you got. It was not even forget Ume Edoku was on the market, and went to Houston, so that was a big switch. Yeah. You got and then even somebody like JJ Redick is kind of interesting and appealing of like what he could be. we'll see.
We never know.
We'll never know. Time will tell on that one.
He may get with get an assistant job first with a good leading, head coach or whatever.
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see. NBA, they'll pull you off the booth.
I understand. They will.
They'll pull you off the booth. It's happened. It doesn't matter the tone of your skin either.
Yeah,
they've done it. Jason Kidd comes to mind.
Sure.
Mark Jackson too.
Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
It happens.
Wasn't Steve Kerr?
Steve Nash.
Yeah, Steve Nash. Yeah.
Was Kerr now? He was never.
Well, he's a GM. He's a GM
he was a GM
for Phoenix, and then went to the booth and came back to the head coach.
Yeah.
But same deal. But it's just kind of it's interesting because you got Nick Nurse is out there. He's proven. They're solid teams because Toronto's still a solid team. They got a nice, excellent core. They just need a Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, right.
Imagine if he never left.
Milwaukee was the best team in the league this year, record statistically wise.
Unless your major top tier superstar gets hurt.
Yeah.
Giannis got hurt.
And also played like 3 or 4 games in that series.
No. He wasn't. I mean, he did play, but he wasn't Giannis that we know before he got.
Look at his stats. I mean,
stats
I think they just got beat. That's what happened. People want to blame injuries. They got smoked. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler had 54 in a game, 53 in a game. He was balling. They got smoked. That's all that happened. Call a spade a spade. No. That's why he probably lost his job. Monty Williams, I think he's a wild card because I want to see Monty succeed. Nick Nurse has won it. Boot has won it. Bud has won it. I want to see Monty win it after the Nuggets, obviously. But, I want to see him get it done. I would love to see him in Minnesota. I think that'd be a good landing spot for him.
I think the only thing that happened with Monty was those two just...
Yeah, back-to-backs.
Yeah, back-to-back terrible losses. Mm-hmm. If he didn't have those, I think he would have probably got a chance. Well, and the new owner coming in.
The new owner.
And let me tell you that new owner definitely quick to steal somebody's basketball.
Yeah,
he is. That man's
steal
a
the
mess.
basketball and had Isaiah Thomas sitting next to him.
I think Monty should have got a chance to run with the 3 guys. Paul, Devin, and KD for a year, and if he couldn't get it done, then
that's the reason you make that hard decision to fire him because somebody thinks that he can't do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So there you have that one, and I'm kind of it's funny. I'm wishing death on 2 people.
What's who you are?
Minnesota's head coach and Doc. Because I think that Monty would be a good fit in Minnesota and in Philadelphia.
Well, they waited a little bit for Milwaukee's coach to get it. They didn't just the next day get him out. He waited. They waited a week or so. So Doc's still on a
and I honestly think that Coach Bud, he's been successful everywhere he's gone. So
he'll get a job.
He'll get a job, and I think they'll be pretty good fast.
Yeah.
Well, to end the longest not Nuggets section we probably ever had. I also want to talk about Victor Wembanyama because we have never actually. I don't think his name's ever been dropped on this podcast. Wow. Has it? Maybe one time.
Couple.
Once.
Good. Because this dude is a beast. Actually, I think we did when we talked about him shooting the 3, catching the rebound, and dunking. But this man's a beast. And tomorrow is the draft lottery,
aka Wembanyama Day.
I'm not gonna say who do you think's gonna get him because that's obviously that's the lottery. Mm-hmm. But where do you think he'd be a good fit?
Anywhere.
I'm saying, but what complimentary player would he be good with?
Do you think he's going to go to Orlando?
Why not? I mean, he may not want to go into those places,
but
he can go any. And he would be helpful in any team. Come on, let's be
Who would
serious.
you of those teams? Who would you want to compliment him with? That's all I'm asking.
I don't know his game enough to say, but
I'll tell you.
I just know of his reputation, and his reputation says he's a good player.
I'll take the easy one on the board. I want to see him coached by Greg Popovich.
Oh, well.
And I think the Spurs would be an excellent fit. They've proven that they can build a winning culture and with European or foreign talent. And I think they're excellent.
Pop would be so happy.
And this
to extend his career.
It would because they had it perfectly. They had from Robinson to Duncan to Kawhi, and then their medical staff screwed that one up.
He's been, he's like New England Patriots. They always get the head, the leader. They've had it. They had the admiral.
That'd be crazy for him to get.
But if he goes there, that's the one I'm really rooting for. Because if he goes to Houston, I think that's purgatory.
Yeah,
I think Orlando's purgatory, even though they don't really have great odds.
I want to say who I think he should.
Yeah, that's why I pointed at you.
I want him to go play with the Pistons. Because if you think about it, Cade didn't play last year. But you combine Cade with Wembanyama, oh my God. You're talking about oops, dunks, and scoring. That is a great Detroit. What is that? Detroit basketball? They're gonna be playing basketball.
Yeah,
with that
You know what's gonna happen if he goes to Detroit?
Isaiah Thomas gonna.
No, he's gonna leave in about 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah, he'll probably leave.
Yeah, he'd be like, I'm gonna go test the.
But you know what? I will say those European players tend to be really loyal compared to other superstars. They be staying with their teams.
We'll see.
Giannis is staying with Bucks. Jokic locked in with Denver.
Thank goodness.
Joel Embiid.
I knew you were going to say Embiid.
Stayed with 76ers.
He's not European. And in the two that you mentioned...
I should have said
international or international.
Yeah. And the two you mentioned, Giannis and Jokic, you've seen Giannis when he came in. Yes, he was a lottery pick, but he wasn't... They didn't forecast him being what he became. No. He put the work in and grinded. So he's always he's appreciative to Milwaukee. And that's what he said. He's even said that after on a presser. He's like... Yeah. I could have left. I could have done that. That's the easy way. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do. They have a different mindset. Jokic, we've said it plenty of times on this pod. I've said it even today. He said before the season, I want to be the Tim Duncan of this. So those are two different types of individuals. And then Luka was a top pick, so obviously that, and he went to a good city. Mm-hmm. Wembanyama to San Antonio would be interesting. He would be in the West, so the Nuggets would get really familiar with them, but that'd be interesting.
Anyways,
we'll know tomorrow.
He is a great basketball player. Can't wait to see him play. Hope he stays healthy in the NBA so we can see him at his full strength. Without further ado, let's go to the 2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes remaining.
Well, I thought we should look at the conference final series and look at some moments. What have been some interesting moments or your favorite moments that have come from the conference finals series? Western or Eastern Conference throughout history?
I'll start. When the Lakers played the Portland Trailblazers in 2000, now it's a little bit, jaded because of the calling and the NBA at work and whatever. Nuggets might have to deal with that. In Game 7, and they came back from 15 or 16 in the fourth quarter, and it culminates with that pass from Kobe to Shaq, and he dunks it and he points up. It's iconic. It's iconic Laker moment.
Boo.
That's. But okay, I'm a Nuggets fan. You want me to say, when Anthony Carter threw the ball into Trevor Ariza?
No, we don't.
Should I say that, or should I say when Mason Plumlee pointed at the dude and he hits the
positive moments? So here's one for me. I don't know how positive it is for us, Nuggets or anything, but Golden State, Oklahoma City.
Ooh, 2016?
Yeah, 2016.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
And Golden State was Golden State. I think that's what solidified their...
That one was
3-1.
Crazy. That one was crazy. It came back from 3-1.
Yeah.
They were 73-9, about to lose. They were about to lose before they even got to the finals, and everybody was saying how they were better than this 96 Bulls who won 72 games. So for them to almost lose that series and come back against who? KD.
KD was like, I want to play with y'all next year.
And that was the beginning of KD switching teams. Sure. So that's that was a very important finals. I will say, I really do appreciate Carmelo versus Kobe, even though it didn't turn out. Carmelo was at his prime that year.
Yeah, he was.
But I don't think I have to, and I didn't watch this series because I was too young, but I watched it from the Last Dance. That's Chicago versus Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
1998 with Reggie versus Jordan. Jordan and them came back, won Game 7.
Talking trash, doing all kinds of
Honorable
stuff.
And guess who they beat? Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
And they beat Reggie Miller.
Mark Jackson, who didn't... I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
Yeah, the one same guy that didn't vote for Jokic.
That guy.
That clown.
Okay.
Quick caveat. Another honorable mention is the 88 Eastern Conference Finals, Bird versus Dominique Wilkins.
Okay.
Go Google that, youngsters. And then also all those Jordan versus the Pistons. That was all in the Eastern Conference Finals when they had the Jordan rules and beating the mess out of Jordan. And then obviously when Jordan finally won
And
in
he finally
91,
broke through, yeah.
swept them, and they walked off the court.
Sure.
Ooh, yeah.
Did they speak to each other when they walked off? Or
No.
didn't
do that.
Well, you know how it goes. Anyways, Nuggets play the Lakers tomorrow in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals.
Remember, we were hopeful before. We're hopeful.
And without further ado, my name is K. Kali. Christoph Yalage on the microphone. Just Janet on the microphone. You can find us on Twitter at Just Nuggets Pod. We will be live talking throughout the games. And from your favorite podcast point guard, my name is K. Kali. Take care, everybody.
Go Nuggets.
BLA.
Go Nuggets.
BLA.